Hi everyone, welcome to my channel again. Well, we have someone interesting in our channel today, and as you know, my channel is mainly on your food and nutrition, a lot of recipes, healthy recipes, and of course, a lot of activities for kids. Well, and that's why we have Smita today. Smita is, an educator. She runs an institute called Genius Abacus. So let's quickly, jump on to Smita. Smita, hi Smita, how are you?
Hi, good, Rutra. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, and thanks for being here today. And yeah, I would love our viewers to know more about you, and how did you start up with the Abacus, Genius Abacus as such? This is very interesting concept, so I'm eagerly waiting to know more.
Okay. A very warm welcome to your viewers, Uttara, and thank you so much for making me a part of your beautiful channel and what you're doing for the community and your passion for kids. I think that's somewhere where we connect with each other quite a bit because
Right,
both of us are passionate about kids, right? Uh,
right.
so coming to me, I am a devoted mom of two beautiful kids. And I live in Sydney in Hills District, and I have my husband who works into IT sector. I have a little fur baby as well. By profession, I am a cosmetologist. I did a lot of courses. I just love education as well. So I did a diploma in sales, business, diploma in physiotherapy as well. But right now, I am an entrepreneur and I am a founder director of Genius Abacus. We run different classes on various locations where we kind of um, empower young minds
Hmm.
with ancient techniques, beautiful ancient techniques of abacus and Vedic maths. So yeah, that's I think a short intro about me.
That's great, Smita. That's really interesting, and thanks for that introduction. And I'd like to know more about the journey as to from a cosmetologist to an education specialist, especially in education of abacus.
Yes,
Abacus is it's an old concept, but
yes,
having said that, I think we're still in the process of creating awareness.
yeah,
So this interesting journey, I mean, why did you basically choose abacus
yeah,
as a concept as compared to a lot of other concepts that we have?
correct.
If you could share that as well.
Yeah, Uttara, and a very interesting story behind it. I have my 15 years of corporate experience, and back in India, I worked with VLCC, Dr. Batras. And when my first child was born, I was going very, very good in my career, and I saw that she was struggling in maths a little bit. And that's when I enrolled her in abacus classes, and wherein I was introduced to this concept. And being a first time mom, I when I put her in classes, I actually read a lot about it because you know how we moms are. We really want to get deep into it before
Right.
putting kids into something. So that's what I did. And within a couple of years, I saw a tremendous, tremendous improvement in her mathematics skills. And in fact, where she was scared of numbers, it just turned around and she started loving the numbers. And that really made me curious enough. What's this thing about, Because just sending your kid into a tutoring lesson, you can see what you are expecting and what differences it makes. But this thing was something out of the world. In fact, her teacher once called me and told me, oh my god, she is so good in maths. And I was inside my heart, I was giggling. Oh, okay. Is she that good? But that's what exactly abacus did for her. So when we moved over here, I started volunteering in my son's school this time as a scripture teacher, and that really, made me think that maybe this is my calling because I just loved being around kids, and education was my forte because. Throughout my career, I was into training and education department, managing business side of it as well. But that volunteering opened a absolutely a new area for me, and where I realized that education and kids, these two things is what I am passionate about. And so I thought, I wanted to start my as an entrepreneur, I wanted to start my journey. So I thought, why not Abacus? And as I told you, I love education and I love educating myself as well. So I did lots and lots of courses. I read about a lot of Vedic maths and Abacus. And then I introduced this, and I came up with this idea, and I developed this program where kids are learning Abacus and Vedic maths. Plus, they are also learning a lot of skills which are actually making them very, very confident, extremely confident in maths, extremely confident to face the world. Um, you can say that they are getting job ready, they are getting ready for the future world. Yeah.
That's
So
great. That's
that's
great.
how the journey has been. Yeah.
That's great, and that's amazing, and that you're taking up so many initiatives in terms of introducing this concept, right? For me, abacus is counting numbers, and then it's about helping the child develop the motor skills
Yeah.
as you play with the beads, as you use the
Absolutely.
beads, and the color coordination. So it's the hand-eye coordination, and also correct me if I'm wrong. The kids use both the sides, like the hands, at the same time, which helps them stimulate both sides of the brain. So, which is why I understand there are much more than just learning maths. So,
Correct.
probably you want to explain more in terms of what abacus is and what are the benefits of
Yes.
introducing a child to abacus.
I am so pleased that you have started this topic, because I am so passionate about creating awareness of Abacus, because I have firsthand experienced. And when I am teaching different kids, and those aha moments, and when I see them coming out of that phobia for numbers, that's amazing. So if you allow me, I wanted to show you this Abacus tool as well. So this is the
Yes.
tool what we are talking about. These are, we call them as beads, or we call them as tools. So now you get these tools in different colors, like you might find it in all browns, all the brown beads, but we specifically made it in different colors just so that it's more fun for kids and more understandable as well. So if I tell you, so we start from the center one, and this is what we call as ones place value. So ones place, this is
Mm-hmm.
tens, this is hundreds, thousands, and it goes on like that. So it is so easy to understand by a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old. I don't talk to them in this language that ones place or or tens place or hundreds place. They will like come into, oh my God, what is she talking about? So I always talk to them in their own language, where they love to learn, and which is like, oh, when this beat touches the bar, magic happens, and this becomes a number one. Then but this when this beat touches the bar, that's number 10. So a lot of feedback what I'm getting from teachers as well is that Abacus kids are really, really very strong in their place values. So they don't get confused in where, if you are adding up 365, add 794. So you know where 3 goes and you know where 6 goes. You are not getting confused in the place values. You are not putting 6 in instead of hundreds. You're not putting 6 in tens. So something like that. What you told about hand-eye coordination, that's the best thing what happens with the abacus beads. When the kids are working on these beads, they are using both the hands, they are watching it, they are analyzing the whole sum, because back of the mind they're thinking that what formulas you are applying in that sum. So it's basically the whole brain is working, right? So it's a
Right.
complete brain development program, because you are starting from a hand-eye coordination, going both the hands usage. It tremendously improves your critical thinking, your analytical skills, your logical thinking, and that's why we generally call it as complete brain development program. So it actually rewires your brain, because it's scientifically proven that when you use your right hand, your left side of the brain develops more. When you use
Right.
left hand, your right side of the brain develops more. That's the
Right.
reason. And one side is creative and one side is more analytical. So
Analytical, logical, yeah.
that's why you might find a lot of, I always tell to my kids, my students, that lot less creative people are there in the world, because lot more of us, we use our right hand, right? So our left side is getting developed, but our creative side is a little less, you can say. So this is exactly the same thing when you're playing a piano. So any music instrument, so you are using both the hands on both the sides. So
Right.
that, apart from the music, it also is helping your brain to develop, the whole brain to develop. And that's exactly what is happening with Abacus as well. So that's what, where I said that making them confident enough and giving them a lot of skills to be future ready, that's exactly what I meant. That when they're doing Abacus, apart from mathematics skills, apart from fast calculations, they are also getting all these skills, which is analytical, logical, critical thinking, etc., etc. I generally call them as side effects of Abacus in front of my
Right.
parents, but that really does wonders for them. So
The
maybe
positive side effects, yeah.
positive side effects. Yes, very well said. I'll tweak it from next time onwards now.
Right, right. Great, great. And I think this generation and the future generation, what we need is obviously help children, help people think out of the box. And this kind of an activity really helps them develop that skill.
Yes,
And I think even without even having a conscious thought about it, I think they just developed that out of the box thinking, analytic skills, and which in turn helps them build their confidence, which is the key that they need
yes.
right now, right? Like all of us need that, but more so what we need to prepare the future generation for that.
Absolutely. Like I always talk about AI, right? And that's the one thing which everywhere it's the hot topic right now, that, oh my God, AI is gonna be here and it's gonna take all of our jobs, right? So, but I always talk to kids in my classes, and we discuss about it a lot more in my classes as well. And we always talk on, I have a little bit different opinion about it, as in, I always feel that AI is really a boon for you if you are using it correctly. Don't be a slave of AI. Don't be a slave of technology, because it is us humans who made that technology. It is us humans who made those machines. So
Right.
we are not letting them control us, not at all. No, no. So what is happening and what will happen, what I can see in that after 10 years down the line, you'll be amazed what all careers will be there and what all careers will not be there. For example, YouTuber was not there 10 years back. Nobody even thought about, oh, what are you talking
Absolutely.
about, influencer and YouTubers? But it is right now, it is there, and it is such a big, huge career, right?
Right, right.
Similarly, after 10 years, you will not know that what kind of careers will be there, which we have not even thought about it right now, which our kids will be facing, and they will be doing it, right? So I keep telling the kids that machines will be doing all rote working and repetitive work. All that kind of mundane tasks will be done by machines. And you or us as humans, we will be doing all the complex problem solving things. We will be making those machines go smarter and smarter, but we have to be smart enough that we are not allowing those machines to control us. So that's
Beautiful.
exactly what Abacus, Vedic Maths, or whatever you talk to kids on different levels. That's what we are trying to do it for them. That's what the tools and skills what we want to provide them is. You have to be confident enough. And one sentence what I use is, you are the boss of numbers. Numbers are not your boss. So a lot of tiny little kids, when you talk to them about thousands, and they are like, thousand? Oh, Miss Mita, how will I do those thousands? And oh my God, these are such big numbers. So I always keep telling,
Oh,
boss, you are the boss. So then they say, oh, okay, I might do it. And you will not believe, Uttara, these little sentences, for us, it's so funny, right?
right.
But it really makes an immense change of attitude in kids, because that's what is important, right? Your attitude should be positive. Your attitude should be that, go get her. Throw it on me. I'll solve this problem. Not that shying away from problem. So that's exactly what we are trying to do with the kids as well.
That's amazing, Smita. And I see that love and passion that you have for kids, and especially making sure that the right things are taught in the right way. So that's really nice. And also the point that you mentioned about AI and the things. End of the day, it's this human computer, right? It's so powerful, and a lot of parents are aware of it right now because all of us are into the child development, the psychology, making sure the mental health of kids and the others are good. So a lot of parents obviously now are well read,
Yes.
thanks to the technology, that they understand that especially the first 2 years is so critical for the kids and the
Yes.
babies, their development. Making sure that we tune the right wires here. In addition to that, as they grow, first few years, 10 to 14 years, so critical to ensure that we sharpen those skills for them.
Yes.
And a system like Abacus is so important, plays a very important role in terms of tweaking those wires,
Yes.
making sure they're all set right. So I think
Absolutely.
that's a great tool as well. It looks so simple, but
Yeah.
there's so much into it that it could give, right?
You
The
know,
tool
that
looks so
day, one
simple.
of my student during the holidays, she had sent me a video. Her mom sent me a video and said, I'm trying to make your day. She is doing abacus sitting on an airport. And I just loved it.
Amazing.
I was like, oh my God, this is beautiful, because you are not, um, you know, going on screen, which we moms sometimes we are like, oh my God, enough of screen time. But I just loved it that she was sitting on airport and she was just doing little bit of sums on the abacus tool. And that's wonderful. That's exactly what I want all my students to do.
That's great, and that's the trend we want to get, right? We want to make sure the kids are lesser on screen. Yes, obviously there's a lot from the technology, the
Yep.
screen time that they do learn. But having said that, you want to minimize that, and a tool like this is amazing for the older kids as well as the little ones. Like, um, how early, Smita, can you introduce a child to Abacus?
Uttara, there is no age limit or age to start with, but what I generally recommend is when a kid is able to recognize 1 to 9,
Mm-hmm.
and he or she is able to write 1 to 9, they are absolutely ready. It's absolutely fine if they are making mirror images. And through your channel, I really want to tell to parents about that as well, that it's absolutely normal. A 4 year or 5 year old making opposite threes or nines or sixes or sevens, it's fine as far as they are recognizing it and they're trying their level best to write it down. It's absolutely normal. So when they are ready to write, they're ready to do abacus. And earlier the better, because it's easier to learn something while not learning something. Otherwise,
Right.
yeah. But yeah,
Great.
any.
And thanks for bringing that point about the mirror image that I understand from the doctors, the pediatricians as well, till about the kids about sometimes 7, 8, they
Yes,
do write in the mirror
yes,
image.
yes.
Even letters like E, P, that's quite common. But
Mm,
having said that, yes, if it's quite a lot and if you
yes.
see other changes as well, that's when you need the medical advice. But having said that, otherwise it's quite normal.
Yes, yes. So we are, I always train my educators in that as well, that we have to keep telling kids that yes, you are making it in a wrong way, but we never ever try to enforce them into that, oh, this is wrong. No. make a little smiley, and now they know that, oh, if I have so many smileys, that means I have written the digit in a wrong way. That's so it's a positive enforcement rather than going into telling them that, oh my god, you are doing wrong, wrong, wrong. No, no, you have to do like this. They are kids. You are trying to teach them some skill. Don't don't make them nervous about it. It's all about fun, because the moment they're stressed, it happens with adults as well. If we are stressed,
Right.
our mind blocks and we
Right.
cannot be so productive, and we can't think out of the box. But same thing happens for kids. If we try making everything fun and comfortable, that's where their productivity level increases and they grasp things much better.
Right. And I agree, Smita. Like, we as adults don't like someone telling us, hey, you're wrong. This is not the way you do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Well, this wasn't expected. Why don't you correct yourself? We don't like it. So it's difficult for that little mind to accept that and
Correct.
process it. Right.
Yeah.
So, and I love that point that you mentioned, to not cross it, and you put
No,
a smiley or put a
yes,
dot.
yes,
Yeah.
no
And I
cross.
also remember one of our discussions you did mention, you always try and tell kids, like, hi, if they're wrong, like, okay, you've done, you were here, but you
Yes,
seem to have achieved this much. So you emphasize more about what's been achieved rather than what was not done correct.
exactly, exactly. And because when they learn, and not just in the start, when they move forward in abacus in different levels, there are some very, very tricky concepts. But our job is to make it very easy and comfortable for them. So when they
Right,
go, the answers are getting wrong, I never, and none of my educators and not me, we never put a wrong. We always just put a little dot. And
right,
so they know that. See, when you're putting it wrong, you're trying to tell them is, oh, you have done something wrong. But when you're putting a dot, it's just telling them that it's all right. You have at least tried. You made your effort to do it. It's fine if you have done wrong. Let's try it again. Let's try it again and again and again till you succeed. Because that's again a very important life skill that, okay, we all are humans. We all can do things wrong, but we should never stop trying. And when I always tell them, oh, see, out of this row, you have just done 2 3 things wrong. That's absolutely fine. See what you have done correct. So these are little silly mistakes you have done. Maybe you got distracted, so maybe you just need to focus a little bit more. But again, coming back to it, that positivity and positive talking is very, very important when you are teaching a child.
great, great. And also because the kids learn through what they see. So an impact like saying, oh, you're incorrect, and that
Yeah.
cross out there stays back in their mind longer as compared to anything that would have been really done well, which can blocks their mind, right? So
Absolutely.
that's great. Thanks for that, Smita. So yeah, for me, again, this is it's a great learning, and thanks for introducing us to Abacus and working really hard to ensure that we spread the education system, we teach others, we connect with the rest of the community to spread the concept of abacus. Because for me, I have a 10-year-old and a 20-month-old, so I can use abacus for both. Like you mentioned that when the kids learn the numbers, they recognize it, you introduce abacus. But where I'm thinking is, hey, even if you have a toddler,
Yeah.
because of the lovely colors,
Yeah.
different colors, and
Yes.
also to develop the motor skills, you could give
Absolutely.
them as a tool,
In fact,
yeah,
very
to
correctly.
explore.
Yes, Sutra, and very correctly said, because a lot of you must have heard about Montessori way of teaching, and they use abacus in
Yeah,
their way of teaching. Their abacus is, of course, not just a tool; it is bigger one. You might have
bigger
seen
one, yes.
beads. So that's exactly why they're using it, because for hand-eye coordination and motor skills, because you're moving the beads, you're moving one bead, then moving 2 beads. That's absolutely correct what you said. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Yeah. So, yeah, that's great. So we could use it for any age group. Yeah. But with toddlers or the kids who have, the mums and parents fear of they putting things in their mouth, yes, obviously you need to supervise them. But having said that's a great tool that they could use. And also for the older kids, because then your off screen time, They're
Yes.
busy with that. They're experimenting. They're learning maths at the same time. They're trying to explore and do something creative out of it. That's
Absolutely. And
great.
for older kids, even Vedic maths, it really works wonders because it's tips and tricks to do calculations, fast calculations.
Right.
That also works wonders. And but abacus, when you are talking about age, let me tell you one more thing. There were a couple of grandparents, and I taught them abacus, and
Okay.
it's such a de-stressing tool for them. And they just love it. They said, I don't know, it's like a crochet for me. So I just love doing the beads up and down, and that's what comes from 60 plus. So our senior citizens.
Okay.
And by the way, the researches are going on. I think I should not talk about it because a lot of researches are still going on that, but they are seeing the benefits of abacus in old age people as well.
Okay, that's great. That's great to know, Smita. So thanks for this. I think this was a great session in terms of understanding, what Abacus is about, the benefits about it for all age groups. Now that you mentioned about the senior citizens as well, which is something new that I've learned.
Yes,
So, and also knowing more about you.
thank
So
you.
definitely parents like me would love to come and meet you. And I also know that you do a lot of events around. There's so many events happening, especially the festive season. So where do we meet you next? Where do we find your stalls? Where do we find your students for the next event?
Okay, so you can, I'll be happiest to meet you in person, to meet anyone who wants to come and talk more about Abacus. We are there on 15th of October, just this Sunday. We are at Castle Hill Showgrounds. We are having a business expo there. Then I am there on 20th. There is Usana event. It's a Diwali party. So I'm having my stall there. Plus I am there. You can have come and chat with me. There is an event in November, which I am in talks with the people. And apart from that, there is Utsav event next year. It's a big
February?
event. Yeah, 16th of February. So I am there as well. So
Great. So we
we have
would
things
meet you
coming.
in,
Yes, correct.
Sydney Connections,
Yes,
Usana, and Empowered BWB.
yes.
And a lot of community events as well that you're part of. So thank you so much for that. I think it's been great having you in those events earlier and looking forward to the events
Uh,
coming up as
my
well.
pleasure. My pleasure, Uttara. I love going to those events and meeting different people and telling them more about what we do.
Great, Smita. So yeah, that's really great, and we're looking forward to meeting you as well. And I'm going to be sharing your details in the description box below because apart from events, our students would want to come and join your classes. So definitely, we'll have a lot of parents contacting you very soon.
Correct. You know, at the end, I just want to say one thing. I always tell it to students, parents, friends, everyone that a journey is 1,000 miles journey to begin with, but you
Yeah.
just have to take that first step, and you have to take that first step. That's all. You have to take that first step for your kids, for yourself. So don't shy away from taking that first step. That's exactly what I just want to end this thing with.
Great. Thanks for that. I think parents, apart from Abacus, you've learned much more the small tricks and tips of how we could, do the positive affirmation and positively, help our child think and, kind of look forward as well, give them confidence. So I think, Smita, thank you so much. This has been a great session and a lot of learnings as well, a lot of takeaways. I definitely take a lot of tips and tricks from you, meeting you and talking to you today. So, all the best and looking forward to meeting you soon.
Yeah, thank you so much, Uttara. Thanks for sharing this platform because the awareness is very, very important. And I loved talking to you. I love talking about our mutual passion, kids and education. That's the best thing what we could have done today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. See ya.
See ya. Bye.